Hey ho, SallyBC here, and today I'm doing a video on Age of the Primes Voyager class Prima Prime, first of the 13 primes. So here he is in his Cybertronian truck mode, and I gotta say, I think this mode is sick. I've seen some people say that the first Transformer should have a more interesting alt mode, but the thing is, they never give any suggestions on what. Personally, I think this works quite well for him. I mean, what else is he going to be? I suppose a jet or something, but even then it's just going to be a normal jet, and it's just a relatively normal truck. I think it works perfectly fine. It's very boxy, with a bit of a slope at the front and these bits sticking out the back. And it's got these huge grey parts at the front. This thing really looks like it could take a beating. He's mostly plain grey with some silver and grey segments, and a few blue highlights. He's got a translucent window, but it's an insert and doesn't have any robot parts right behind it, so I don't have a problem with it. He's got two 5mm ports on each side, which can be used to store the Star Saber, and there's one at the front, which the Star Saber can also slot into. But if you split the Star Saber in half, you can store the blade in the back and the handle underneath. I do think this looks pretty cool, actually. And if you remove the handle from underneath and fold out the wheels, this looks incredibly dumb.
Elephant green screen effect.
It really seems like an afterthought, but it doesn't detract from the figure, so I can't hate on it. For comparison, here is Earthrise Optimus Prime, another Voyager Cybertronian truck, Netflix Nemesis Prime, a Lego minifigure, my previous Transformers video, Jim Bow Hook, I'll get back to this, I promise, and Earthrise Optimus Prime. For transformation, you want to start by flipping out the wheels. Visible head syndrome. Detach this back section and flip it out. You want to separate them, flip out the feet, and collapse in the wheels. Coming to the top, you want to detach these side pieces here. Move this entire section up. You can take this piece and swing it around. Flip out the head. This whole piece will clip in, and that is a very, very important part of the transformation. This small clip here, if you don't do that, you won't be able to get this piece down far enough in order to get the legs in correctly. So click that in, fold the wheels in. This piece here will fold up and back. These pieces will fold down. You want to flip out the hands, collapse the arm, and then rotate the arm around. Same on this side. And this whole assembly will move down and just tab it into place like that. And after that pretty fun transformation, here is Prima in his robot mode. It takes a lot of inspiration from his Covenant of Primus design, but there is one major difference: the head. This head is from his G1 show design, kinda. The bot that was known as Powerful Bot in the G1 show was later retconned into being the cartoon's version of Prima. I understand why Hasbro wanted to change the head. The original Covenant of Primus head was very nondescript and hard to read. Some people say he's got a faceplate and others say he's got a mouth, so it definitely makes sense. The thing is, there is a canon G1 Prima. The character of Prima actually originates from the Marvel Comics, where he was, in fact, the first Transformer, unlike Powerful Bot in the cartoon. It's a bit basic, but it probably would have made more sense. All that being said, I actually really like this head, and am glad they went with it over any of the alternatives. People say it doesn't fit with the rest of the body, but I think that's just whiplash from it being so different from the Covenant of Primus design. But the head isn't the only difference. There's much more colour variation. His Covenant of Primus design is entirely white, but this guy's waist and shoulders are grey. His head is silver, and he's got some nice blue highlights. I've seen some people say the colours are too bland, and plenty of people have added gold to theirs. But personally, I think he looks better without. The gold is just a bit much for me. The shape of his shoulders is also noticeably different, being much more blocky rather than the sloped ones the original design had. His arms aren't as large, the original having much thicker gauntlets, but on the contrast, his legs are much denser. A lot of the vehicle mode does end up on his back, sort of like a turtle shell, but fortunately it doesn't get in the way. For the previously mentioned Star Saber, it fits in his hand and looks great. The clear blue blade with the silver trimming is lush. The handle being white is kind of bland, but Prime's logo right there in the middle of the hilt is a very nice touch. Now you may have noticed there are some suspiciously matrix-shaped pegs here, and those are for this. Inside his chest is a matrix of leadership, which is incredibly difficult to get out sometimes. It can plug into those slots, since that's where it is on the Covenant of Primus design, and that looks much more complete. I get why they made it silver because the one on the Covenant of Primus design is silver, but to me it just suggests that the bronze one we all know and love is just rusty. And that idea kinda stinks. So I tend to leave his matrix in his chest and attach a normal one to the sword. This one specifically is from 86 Ultra Magnus. And wow, that little pop of colour really does it wonders. For articulation, he's got a ball joint at the head. There's actually a cut at the back, which allows him to look up quite far. His shoulders go all the way around, and this far out, the shoulder pads moves out the way. Pretty decent elbow bend, bicep swivel, wrist swivel, opening hands. Gotta love that. A slight backwards ab crunch, that's much deeper than it's ever gone before. How on earth's it done there? Waist swivel, legs can go forward that far, and only backwards that far due to the kibble. If you move the waist, you can get it further back. Legs go all the way out, moving the side skirts out the way. Knee bend. If you pull out the wheels, you can get a much deeper knee bend, but then the wheels are sticking out. A slight up and down at the foot, and an ankle pivot. With all that, he's able to pull off a lot of poses. Butterfly joints would have been nice, but I really think he should have had sword-wielding wrists. You can kind of fake it by opening up the arm, but it only really works at certain angles. The side skirts being above the waist is also a little awkward. For comparison, here's Earthrise Optimus Prime, another Voyager Cybertronian truck, Netflix Nemesis Prime, a Lego minifigure, my previous Transformers video, Jin Bao Hook, and Earthrise Optimus Prime. I definitely would have preferred if this guy was just a little bit bigger. He looks fine next to Earthrise Optimus Prime, but now we have the slightly larger 86 Optimus Prime, it just doesn't look quite right. I feel like Prima should be the same height as Optimus. Also, the Starsaber just looks kind of pitiful in his hand, it's tiny. Ultimately, I really enjoy this guy, like a lot, and would absolutely recommend picking him up. But what do other people think? I don't own him. The reason I don't is that head. Understandable. It's something I mentioned in the review. There's a kit that can change his head though, so I might get him if I can get that, but no, mostly he looks sick. Well, my first impressions are Starsaber's handle should have room for his other hand to hold it. Oh, that would be cool. That would be really good. And obviously the head. There's actually two alt heads. One comes with new shoulders and is on Ollie, and the one with helmet wings. I think he suffers from lack of paint, to be honest. It's all just grey. He needs at the very least some more blue. Hell, gold in some places would be cool. I like him, fun to mess with. I'm of the rare group who likes the current head, though his transformation has some fiddly steps. Very satisfied with him though. Yeah, I like the head too. Not gonna lie, it fits a lot better than the Covenant of Primus design's head. True, not just with his own body, but with the other Primes too. Two fun modes, but full of seams. Good articulation, especially for his weapon. Sword-wielding wrists would have been awesome, but I agree. He cool, but also ugly. Put a random elephant green screen effect on it out of nowhere in the video. The body is well designed. The weapon is a fun way to include the Starsaber and Matrix. The head clashes so much. Understandable. Personally, I like the head. That's fine, I just feel like it clashes with the design language of the body. Great mold. The features like the hover mode and Starsaber / Matrix are fun, but something about the figure just doesn't strike me as the first of the Primes to me. Like it's missing that form factor.
Feels like Siege in the best way possible, though I wish he had more black and maybe some gold on him. My comment about Prima Prime. So Prima Prime was my first Age of the Primes figure, and my second Prime, because I had Vector Prime. And my opinion on Prima Prime is he's really, really good. He has great articulation, you can get him into dynamic poses, and he looks really well. He's very detailed, and for a bot that turns into a lunar vehicle, he does really well hiding the car park, and he has a fun transformation. Originally when he was first revealed, I didn't feel that the head fit him, but upon getting him in hand, I have to say I do like the sculpt, especially since the design is like a mix of, I believe, G1 and Aligned design, I think, and it works really well. My only little nitpick I'd have is that I feel the Starsaber could have been a tad bit longer, closer to how long Studio Series Age of Extinction Prime sword is, but other than that, he's really well done and definitely worth the buy. And the only other thing I'd have to say is paint-wise, he could use a bit more paint, but it's pretty fine as is. And if you're a person who paints figs like I do, then it's definitely no problem because you can just paint it. But that's my comment about Prima Prime. The alt mode isn't bad, just horrible because of that head. Only little bump and paint scraps. I don't know what that means.
But that's about it for this video, so I guess that's Salut, BC, out. Next time is the second Prime.